Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Amber Alert. Great backstory, I think. Finally getting back to my comments on my YouTube channel, so I apologize for those of you who left comments, and I mean it was 3 months old, I think was the last time. I'm getting back, responding to your comments. I appreciate it. A lot of recommendations in there. One of the recommendations I got, there was a couple. I had them all to my list, they're all at the top now. I'm going to get through them. Amber Alert was one that I got. I was like, let's check it out, right? It's on Amazon Prime. And it stars Hayden Panettiere, Tyler James Williams, Kevin Dunn, and that's all. That's all for now. Maybe we'll recognize. But a rideshare turns into a high-stakes game of cat and mouse after it follows a car fitting the description of an Amber Alert. Which is very interesting. How many times are we driving down the highway and it's like red Toyota Corolla, Amber Alert, missing child, you know what I mean? And I'm like looking around, like trying to find this thing. You know, I shouldn't laugh, but I mean, it's like, you know, I can relate. You know what I mean? I'm looking for that red Toyota Corolla, and so now here's a movie about it. It's an hour and 30 minutes long. It's rated 5.9 on IMDb, 2,634 people. So let's check it out. Stick around. I'll let you know if it's any good. I'll be back. Sorry, I had to do a rare check-in on this one. I just screamed out loud. I am not kidding. I knew nothing about this movie. I swear that they recommended it to me, and I turned it on. Nothing else. The Amber Alert had just started, right? So the girl goes missing. You'll see it if you watch the movie. And you're looking at the car, and you can't tell what it is. It's black. Whatever. She comes in, the 911 operator. She says, a Toyota Camry. I forget what year, it doesn't matter. But it was like I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I couldn't believe it. I had to stop it and fill you guys in. That was unbelievable. I did not know. I just said Toyota Camry, and wouldn't you know, it comes out in the film. I don't know. We live in a matrix, or I could see the future, or something like that. But that was amazing to me. Like, I had to share with somebody. So my whole house probably knows, because I just screamed like, oh, Toyota Camry. All right. So I mean, still not a good thing. I get it, you know, but it's hilarious. So I just used that reference earlier. So all right, let's get back to the film. So far, I mean, I'm only in it 10 minutes and 39 seconds. So I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Amber Alert. Was a great movie. And Hayden Panettiere and Tyler James Allen, I think his name is. Williams, Tyler James Williams, were executive directors. I think a lot of the big actors are now executive producers in all their movies. But anyway, just saw that coming up in the credits. So if you don't know, Tyler James Williams was Everybody Hates Chris. He was the kid in that. He played Chris Rock's role, I think, in that. That's where I recognize him from. So, but the whole movie's centers around kind of what they said. And this light's driving me nuts. I gotta get it replaced. But you know, this little girl gets kidnapped, and Hayden Panettiere and calls for like an Uber. It's not called Uber on the TV show, but Tyler James Williams happens to be the guy, right? This goofy light. I apologize for the strobe lights, but anyway, I'll let the lights stay. But you know, calls, and you know, there's a whole thing behind all of that. But she gets in the car, and the Amber Alert comes out for the little girl. They think they see the car, and so they start following it around, right? And it kind of makes you think, like, you know, who would do that? Like, he was supposed to be getting off work and going to see his son, right? And so now he's supposed to go see his son for his birthday, and here he is doing a wild goose chase on an Amber Alert that they're not even sure it's the right car. So you think about that, like, man, how far would you go in that type of situation? That's what I kept thinking, you know. I would like to think that I would go as far as these two, but you never know until you're right in that situation. But so that's what they do. So it's just kind of like edge of your seat kind of stuff, everything that you think of, you know, trying to call the police, get them involved, but there's so many people calling in with all of these different things, it doesn't make it super easy. So very anxiety, you know what I mean, as you're watching it, especially as a father, you know what I mean. Oh, that's the first thing I thought of was, oh my gosh, couldn't imagine if this happened to any of my kids, or, you know. So anyway, and it was a Toyota Camry too. Let's circle back to that. That was fun. So without spoiling any more, really good job. I thought they did a lot with very little. felt like. I mean, obviously there weren't that many characters, really centered on them two, and there's just enough, I think, depth. In fact, I even wanted a little bit more at the end. I was expecting, like the post whatever happens scene, not like post-credit scenes, but you know how like it ends and then they show a party or something like that. I don't know, whatever. But we didn't get that, and that's okay. But I think that's an applaud to the depth I felt in these characters and wanting to learn a little bit more, and it wasn't over the top, so it didn't pull away from the whole plot of the movie of rescuing this girl. So I do want to say one thing more. I mean, really, there's not much else to tell. Hour and a half movie, you get it, right? I'm going to jump into without ruining it, but I will talk a little bit more open about the end of the movie. So if you don't want to hear it, thanks for tuning in. Otherwise, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. I mean, the movie's far-fetched in a sense, right? Like, how many people would really do this? And maybe there are many people that would do this, but then actually then to go into the house, and once you get in there and seeing what it's like it's not like a normal house. It's like a house of a deranged person who kidnaps kids and will probably kill. You know what I mean? And so like, whoa, okay. But still, it makes for a good movie. I mean, that's why we paid $1 to watch them. But the part that bothered me, I know it's a small, minute detail, right? They're trying to escape the house, right? He's just come back, and I don't know, the whole, the pharmacy thing, and she shows the pharmacy. Okay, so he knew. What took him so long? Like, they were roaming that house for a while. Like, he could have snuck right back in, went around the corner, watched them go in and go get them. So that gap didn't work, and like his whole plan on getting them, like, what kind of, you know what I mean? That was a little, you know what I mean? Like, you would think that, okay, I'm just going to ride this bike around a tree here and then stand there and watch them go in. When they're going to go in, I'm going to trap them or do something. Nothing. It really felt like he was just coming back from the pharmacy. But according to them, according to what we think, is he knew that because he already went to the pharmacy. So that kind of bothered me a little bit there. It's like, it could have done a little bit better job of, setting the trap for them. But okay, no problem. As they're trying to escape the house, they go upstairs. You know what I mean? Like, what? No. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what you're gonna do. Especially when there's other places you can go, which you can see he went to the other place. But that was just, I don't know. That you don't, you got to find a way out. Okay, so sometimes they will force you, but they didn't give you I don't think, the facts of why they had to go upstairs, right? In some cases you have to. It's the only place you can go. But then, of course, they go into a boarded up bedroom. As soon as I saw that bedroom, I'd be like, okay, I know there's no way of getting out of here. Got to make a move. And so those were the two things that kind of, I don't know. But as I always say, I'm very hypercritical about movies that I did like. And so this one was good. And I think it's the good in people. There is good in people out there. And there's people who will do what these two did. And in memory... Okay. And it just says, in memory of my little brother Chad Belsa, you weren't able to see the finished film, but you're always my biggest fan. So that's a little sad. So I guess that was our director. Again, I'm not doing a good job like I promised. Yeah, Carrie Belliessa, Bellessa, was the writer and the director. I guess Chad was her younger brother. So there you go. Great job. I haven't seen you in anything else, I don't believe, or seen a movie that you had directed before. And I can't even... Oh, there we go. Maybe I can see it. No. Okay. Haven't seen anything else. So there you go. A little bit more information. Fun one. Glad you recommended it to me. Appreciate it. Check it out if you're into these types of I don't know, kidnapping, missing, those types of movies. But be ready, because it is kind of that. Ooh, don't do that. Yell at your screen. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. So, all right. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.